This program is called Trade Shows, The Power of the Plan. You have to have a plan to be successful. You need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. What we're going to cover are setting measurable goals, creating an inviting booth space, meaningful and powerful messaging, and then successful exhibiting. So let's start by talking about the difference between face-to-face marketing versus other kinds of marketing. In face-to-face marketing, you get a chance to connect with our audience and begin to build relationships. We can tell them about our products and services and then listen to them to find the common ground, the solution that specifically fits their needs. We want to start by building that relationship. So everything starts with your objectives. You need to know what your purpose for exhibiting is and how you'll know if you succeed. So you need to set goals and objectives for what you want to accomplish at this show. But if you don't make your goals measurable, you won't know if you've had success, and you won't know what to build on, tweak, or dump to improve results in the future. So again, let's talk about those defined measurable goals. You want to do one or two at the most. You might want to get leads. You might want to make sales, grow your mailing list, or even gather marketing information. A trade show is a great place for you to understand your target audience better. But those are just the goals. Now you need to make them measurable. If you want to make sales, you might say, I want to make X number of sales at the show or X number of dollars of sales at the show. Another great thing is you can maybe grow your mailing list. But that's just the goal. To make it measurable, you have to decide, I want to get 20 new people onto my mailing list, or whatever that number may be. What setting measurable goals will do is help you decide how to exhibit at a show, what to bring, what to talk about with regard to your products and services, and how you want to talk to the people who come to your booth. It'll also help you decide what's working and what's not working by putting that measurable goal into place. So now it's your turn. Go to your worksheet and write down your goal and how you're going to measure that goal. Do one or two. The next thing we have to talk about is creating your booth space. And you'll notice that we crossed out booth space and replaced the word environment. Your booth space should be treated like your environment, like your sales environment, as though people were coming into your shop. You want it to look inviting. So thinking about that, if you have a table with product, you want to put that table off to the side or in the back of the booth to let people come in to talk to you. If you have product that you want to display out front, go ahead and do that. Put your table out front, but pull it into your booth just a little bit so that they have to step inside to start the conversation or to look at your products. You don't want to create a barrier between you and your customer. So if you pull that table in just a little bit, you can even stand in front of it as well. That way you're talking face to face with them, not from behind the counter. You also don't want to bring too much product so that you look like you have 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound sack. You don't want to look like it's a garage sale. You want this to reflect your brand and your products. So think about that when you're setting up your tables, your displays. And if you have something that people try on, whether it's jewelry or even a purse, clothing, make sure you have a mirror in the booth. People like to see what they look like. So just remember, you want to create an environment in your booth that reflects your brand. We're going to move on to messaging. Powerful messages can do all kinds of things for you as people are passing by your booth. They should create interest in your product or service. They can start to tell your story, can even pre-qualify your visitors a little bit, and it needs to tie into your overall company branding message. So whatever kind of messaging that you do, you want to make sure that it's the same voice that you use in other forms of marketing. To create a powerful message, think about the benefit or story of your product. People buy your why as much as they buy your what. They want to know about you and your product, And if you can create a message, a sign of some kind in your booth that starts to tell that story, people will be attracted and want to come in and talk to you. So to do this, we want to talk features versus benefits. I say features tell, benefits and stories sell. So a feature may be, I have hypoallergenic jewelry, or I have a snack that's made from all natural products. The benefit is, or the story of why you have that product or why you have decided to bring this product forward, is what people will be interested in. And that's what you can create your sign on your booth about. And this is something as simple as an easel back cardstock sign or something in an acrylic holder on your booth that will start a conversation or draw your target audience to you. So the feature may be that my jewelry is hypoallergenic, but the benefit, of course, is that there's no skin irritation. The feature may be, I have a snack made from all natural products, but the benefit, of course, is the healthy snack helps you feel healthy. Or if you're doing something philanthropic, then make sure people know up front that you're doing something. Proceeds go to. They would love to stop and talk to you about that. Just remember, features tell, benefits and stories sell. The questions you can ask to create a good message are, why do my customers buy this product or service? Does it help solve any problems or concerns? What's the top of mind of my target audience? What's unique about my company, product, or service? Or what's the story behind my product or service? These are great questions to ask yourself to begin to form a good message that you can put on your table somewhere or somewhere in your booth, that as people are passing by your booth, they will see your story and begin that conversation. So again, it's your turn. Go to your worksheet. You'll see that there's a table where you can write the features of your product. But I want you then to fill in the other side, the benefit or the story. And then look back at those questions that you can ask to create that powerful message that will intrigue your target audience as they walk past. The final thing we'll talk about is actually working the show. And what I mean by that is, this is the interaction that you're going to have with the people that stop by your booth. First thing I want you to know is that time is your biggest challenge. Think about how much time you have total at the show, and then how much time you want to spend with each person that might stop by your booth. Remember, go back to your goals and objectives to think about how you might be able to allocate your time and how important it is. So when it comes to successful exhibiting, it all starts with you. I would ask that you, if you can, please stand in your booth. You're much more approachable if you're standing than if you're sitting. And if you can stand on the aisle, even better. So again, if you move that table into your space a little bit so that you can stand out front and greet people as they walk past or come into the booth. You want to be proactive. Be proactive. Say hello as people pass by the booth. Prepare a few conversation starters. Things like, how are you enjoying the show? Or what have you seen so far that you've liked the best? Just to get that conversation going and let them know that you're approachable and ready to have a conversation. You want to use open-ended questions to keep a conversation going. Once you've gotten something going with someone, use open-ended questions. You can start with a yes or no question, something about your product or service that might be a yes or no question, but no matter what the person answers, do not do this. And that is go into sales pitch mode. Don't just wind up your head and just spew out everything that you know about your product or service. We've all been there. We've gone in to buy that computer, and we tell the salesperson what we need the computer to do, but they want to tell us every feature and everything we can do, and pretty soon we've lost interest in it altogether. So don't go into sales pitch mode. Remember to try open-ended questions to keep the conversation going. Some ideas of open-ended questions are things like, tell me, or tell me about. How are you currently, or have you ever tried? And of course, that's a yes or no question. But if whatever they answer, then you follow that up with a tell me about that. Or how important do you feel? Or from your experience, or what do you like or dislike? There's all kinds of ways to get people to start a conversation with you. You might try something like, do you appreciate having a healthy snack alternative? That's a yes or no question. But whatever they answer, you want to follow up with an open-ended conversation builder. Something like, so what's your biggest challenge when it comes to finding a healthy snack that you truly like? And then you listen. So you've opened up the conversation, but your next thing is to listen. You want to listen for what's important to the visitor so that you can start to find that common ground, that answer, that solution. So you need to listen to their words, their tone of voice, and then as a good exhibitor, you want to look at their body language. So whatever their words are, you're looking for the common ground. What do you want to say to them? Don't do more than what they've asked for. Listen to the tone of their voice. And then again, as I said, if they start to turn away or pick up a bag that they have put down or one of many things, you might be able to tell that they are done with the conversation, in which case you need to wrap up what you're saying and make sure that you get the information from them that you want, whether it's to try and make that sale or to send them something in the mail or to get them on your mailing list. You need to wrap it up and figure out what the next step is with them and let them go. So once you've listened to them, if they're still in conversation with you, it's time for you to build your message. So because you've listened well, you know what you should talk about. And you want to be brief, you want to be clear, and you want to be succinct when it's your turn to speak. And then you want to move them to the next step, as I said, whatever that may be. So in conclusion, you want to put your plan in place. You want to set your measurable goals. You want to create an inviting booth space or environment. You want to build a meaningful message that starts to talk to your audience as they pass by your booth. And finally, you want to interact with the attendees to sell or do the follow-up that you decide is best. So with that, you've created a good plan for your trade show.